game client will be able. You guys will be able to download tomorrow as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for new players and old players as well.
So like there's so many like I would say blockchains. There's ETH, there's like Ton, there's like why Ronin? Why you pick Ronin as like a chain for to launch this game?
I think it's pretty obvious. Why Ronin, right? Because Ronin have players. That is pretty one of the biggest obvious reason. You can ask any games that move to Ronin or like launch the game on Ronin. Ronin have the biggest players pool. Second is that most of the Ronin players is based in Asia, like Brussels and similar regions. That is one of the biggest players in the Ragnarok IP as well. So there's no other options here. I wouldn't say it's even an option with us, acquiring Maxions, and we wanted to bring one of the biggest IP in the MMO to one of the biggest chain, which is Ronin. So making sure that this game will be success because having support from scammers, having support from the Ronin ecosystem and players as well. Yeah. So I think we also have a lot of Brazil players here. Yeah. Too bad I couldn't raise Portuguese, but welcome as well.
So yeah, welcome everyone again. And there's a lot like I'm sure everyone's been playing like several Ragnarok versions, right? Um, like how how would like this IP work with Ragmon? Since we were talking about Ronin chain, right? And there's a Ragmon on Ronin before. Is it like are we working together or is it like different or something?
Wait, let me finish this pouring first. Okay.
All right.
I'm multitasking, guys. Yeah. So Ragmon, right? Like I mean, we have so many questions about Ragmon as well. Even though we have the same IP, but it's totally completely different games. But we're not saying that it's gonna be there's no collaborations there. But of course, IP collaborations between the same IP should happen. So stay tuned if there's any collaboration between the Landverse Genesis and the Ragmon. We are running on with the same biggest IP, but the game is completely different. The one is the like the MMO version, which everyone familiar with. Another one is a mobile games, right? But yeah, of course, we love Ragnarok, and everyone is looking forward. What are the collaborations here? Stay tuned.
Um, yeah. I think there's questions about like gameplay as well. Like uh let me go through like some what time would we launch tomorrow? Like you were talking about like launching tomorrow, right? And then there's people asking like when. I'm sure they have been waiting for the game to launch for quite a while. And yeah, when would be tomorrow?
So I would say the timing is not finalized yet. There is no rush. This closed beta is mainly for making sure that the server is able to run with the whole Ronin ecosystem players, which we're gonna have like thousands of players joining our closed beta. Making sure that the server is running smoothly. Um, pretty sure the service is not gonna run smoothly tomorrow. So just keeping up the expectation here is a closed beta. We are testing a lot of stuff, so a lot of stuff gonna be broken, but it's gonna be fun. Everyone is just gonna rush into the training ground in Ponteras, and everyone's just gonna have fun, right? So the expected time to launch tomorrow is probably 1 p.m. No, it's 2 p.m. UTC plus 7. So that is around like 5 a.m. UTC.
What time again? 1
Uh,
p.m. UTC plus 7.
2 p.m. UTC plus 7. But it's still pending on the launch on time. But there's no rush, right? Like you don't need to rush in the game. There's no I wouldn't say there's no reward, but you just spend your time and have fun with the game, right? If anyone asks
Right.
like you don't have any reward for closed beta, we're not saying we don't have, but we're not saying we have it as well. So yeah.
Okay. So there's gonna be around like let's say approx like 20 hours, like 19, 20 hours from now. So I think you guys can yeah get your things ready, get everything, be prepared for this.
Yeah,
Um,
the closed beta will be completely reset when the open betas come up. So you don't need to worry about like like the progression is gonna carry. There's no um, early players that gonna have like a advance comparing to the players that come in open beta. But of course, like there are a lot of benefits that if you play the closed beta, right? You're able to learn the game earlier. You're able to know the game economy faster. You're able to know what to do in the game, and that helps a lot as well, right?
yeah. So I'm changing my job to Archer right now. While Durin is like
What?
farming. I keep asking him questions and I finish my job then.
Yeah. Anyway,
All
okay.
right. So I think it's one different. Like after training ground, you can just change the job right away, and that's like one of the easiest things. And then you start on easy. So I think that's for those who play other versions for. I think this one um is I think I like the picture. Like the effects and everything is like getting better comparing to like the previous versions. Um,
Yeah,
well,
I'm just gonna keep answering the questions in the chat as well. So there's no quest to change the job. Yeah, exactly. So you can change the job to class one in the training ground. So that like will make the new player's life much easier as well. And imagine if you need to do the like job changing when we play Ragnarok in like 2000. I don't think that like the new players will know how to do that. So there's a lot of like life quality changes that will make new players learn about the game, and yeah, it's gonna be much more fun.
that was a pain. Like how you so there's like several jobs. You just a quick tip. You just need to talk to all the NPCs in in the training ground, and then you'll level like I think like 5 or 6 at least, and then you can start like farming. I think you're level 8 or something. Yeah. Um. There's gonna be Autobots. I think. Yeah. For the bots and auto farm.
So we know that we some of our players here are not in the 20s anymore, or they are not in the like they're not Gen Zs, right? And not everyone have the time to play the games 24/7, grinding the game whole day whole night anymore. So that's why we have a up to date life quality of life features that implemented, like you can buy a automatic player system card that, and you can use it to automatically play the game while you're AFK, to catch up with other players, to farm items, to make your life easier as well.
And like yeah, for the first job it's like for you don't really need to walk talk to NPC, but for the next like class, you'll have to go through the NPCs. There's gonna be guide, right? Ja? It's like is there gonna be guide for job changing and everything?
It's on the game guide that we just published just now.
Okay, so yeah, guys, I think it's gonna be um other than that, if you miss the job change in training ground, can you like still change the job, or you have to reset everything?
I think creating a new characters is probably much faster in that way. But yeah, if you're new players here, make sure that you change your job in the training ground. It will make your life like 10 times easier. And if
Yeah.
you're not missing out anything, except you need to spend another 5 minutes to create a new characters.
Well, yeah, the game, I think the game is free to play. Yeah, will the game be free to play or is there initial investment required? There's like
Um,
questions on this.
yeah, so basically, when you gonna play the game, you need to give me 20 run before downloading the game, and then you can download the game to make sure that like the economy is balanced. I'm kidding. Yeah, of course, it's a free to play game, of course, and if you know how to play the game, if you have time to grind, then you will able to play for free without buying anything as well.
So so is it dual window or you can only turn one client on at a time?
So we are planning to enable not more than 3 clients if they wanted to, but anything more than that is prohibited and is considered illegal in our system.
Yeah, there's gonna be like admin GMs and all the admins like getting for those who use like programs and everything, right?
Yeah, we have a pretty good detecting system comparing to different older versions. So, and of course, with everyone, you need to purchase like VAP and stuff. It's not gonna be that easy for people to just like multi-client, and there are a lot of like consequences if you didn't do it properly as well. So we are not encouraging people to do multi-client, but there are also some ways that people like playing 2 characters, which is pretty normal in the like MMO versions. So we also wouldn't want it to change the behaviors of users. That's why not completely disable that. And the problem here is that even though you try to disable it, people will try to find ways to do it anyway, right? So making sure that you know how to play and not doing multiple clients, you be good.
So so like since the
Yeah,
game
I
I
can
think I
answer
think
that. I think from logic first. When you say like this, it's not normal for like good private servers. They're not, so they don't allow multi clients, right? But technically you couldn't really avoid that in the game when you run, right? If even though you wanted to avoid that with a single client, similar to like even like pixel games or whatsoever, people can just spin a new VM. People will find a way. You need to be honest, right? Like if it's similar to you play like new MMO games nowadays in any kind of games, and you're gonna ask that how are you gonna prevent the bot like from entering your games, right? There's gonna be always bots or people trying to game the system, but it depends on like how you actually defense on that, right? Botting or people are trying to game the system is always something in, I would say, part of the gaming culture. Whatever games you play, there's always gonna be that. I would say if I would say if there's gonna be like 100% like a anti cheat that can defense of the boss, then I'm lying, right? But you need to know like there are a lot of ways, and it's pretty difficult to bot the games and try to earn from the system as well, because you need to farm the items. You need to like create like you need to reach a certain points before you go to earn, and to reach that you need to be you need to invest in the games, as well as a lot of like risks that you need to take, right? So we have a lot of good guarding system that we implemented, and it will be we will keep improving this as well. So making sure that the system is healthy, the economy is healthy.
so I think people has been asking about the pricing like for the VIPs, for the Autobots and for all the stuff, right? Like how what's the like do you have the price in already or is it gonna be like you have to wait a bit for
Yeah, the pricings, you probably need to wait a bit. The numbers is not public yet, and I think everyone will know at the same time. It's not gonna be insanely expensive, of course. Like this is a game for everyone, and everyone should be able to play with or without, like the buff or whatsoever as well, right? Keep in
Yeah.
mind that the game is free to play. You don't even need to play. You don't even need to buy the, like botting system. You don't even need to buy VP to play the game, and so there's many
Um,
ways to play the games here.
yeah, I think for I can compare it to like the previous servers. Like people asking like what's the difference between like this server and like the previous like Ragnarok Landverse server. So can you like elaborate like that a bit? Like what's the difference? I myself play the previous server as well. I like this version of graphics. I'm not sure about the price of the items, but what else are we should we expect like the different?
A lot of mechanics that we implemented is quite different from other servers. So because the Genesis team is a new team, and we wanted to align with, like how we could launch a success game, not just in Web3. I've been in the space for 10 years, in the crypto industries for 10 years. We wanted to build a game that is sustainable, right? And we wanted to align on how we could build with communities. We could also, able to monetize and in the long run for game to success, to make sure that we're able to onboard Web2 players and Web2 players together, right? Because this is one of the biggest IP, and there are probably no other IP that have the same impact. I would say the closest one is probably Maple Story, that have, like similar impact to the Web3 games, to onboard like new players, right? So the difference, I would say, biggest difference, as I mentioned before, is the Ronin marketplace. Like we integrated with Ronin Maui Sky marketplace. You can, trade items on there. The game mechanics, comparing to other versions, which I don't have the full mechanics from other versions, but I only know the Genesis versions here. It's completely different, right? Like we implemented something that I would say maybe some of the old players from different servers might not like it. Some newer players might like it. And we have a lot of, like, I would say, PvP mechanics, and, the mining system as well. So if not many people here are familiar with the mining system. The mining system is that, like, is the probably the primary way for you to actually start earning from the game. You need to go to a Yggdrasil map, and then, like start mining the materials, and that materials is one of the most valuable materials that you can sell to other players, to progress your characters. But of course, it's not going to be easy. You need to build your characters. You need to make sure that, your characters is good enough, and the map is also PvP enabled, right? So if you see anyone there, you can just, like, snipe them down. So it's pretty simple. You need to be good. Your character needs to be strong enough comparing to the others to actually minus, mine the materials. Or you can try your luck, mine, and, like hopefully no one come in, get your ass.
So for all the details like general server info, like job experience rate, drop rates, card rates and everything, is there where can there's gonna be on the guide or is it
Yeah, I think that information you can look into the guide. Is pretty straightforward. Yeah.
all right? Um, so there's gonna be daily quests, right? Yeah, I think people are asking, will there be daily quests or something for players to look into? There's a quest board. Um, I think Jaren is like still in the training ground. Jaren, you should change your job right now. Is it job 10? Why are you so slow?
Yeah, I'm 10 right now.
Just 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 change your job so people can like yeah, there's gonna be daily quest board, but that's gonna be after level 50 to take the quest. Yeah.
Okay. So which one should I? Of course.
I don't know, man. I pick Asher,
Yeah.
so
No, no, no. If you pick Azure, I need to pick something else.
I pick Asher. Um.
Let's do this. Let's play
Oh
main.
yeah, and then there's gonna be like a lot of like Web3 elements, like Ronin Wallace and everything, right? What about those people who never like touched Web3 before? Is it gonna be like a big barrier to entry?
Not really. As I mentioned, right? Like you can start playing the game even without Web3 at all, right? And if you wanted to, like play alone, and that's fine as well. It's very similar to any kind of MMO, right? If you enjoy the game, you don't like to be competitive, then you can just enjoy the game. Like farming items, find items, and then get into marketplace once in a while. But to begin a game, you don't really need the Web3 components, and the Web3 components really come, in a bit later in the game, right? So you can start playing the game, farm your items, get your characters into certain levels, making sure that it's gonna be fun, right? And after that, you can like start slowly learning about Web3, about Ronin ecosystem. It's probably the onboarding experience for Ronin ecosystem is very very good. The like the running waypoints, the wallets, the players in the running ecosystem, they are used to play the games. So yeah, you don't really need to know Web3 to begin with, but of course, in the games after quite a while, then you need to start learning about the Web3 a bit.
Okay, so um, what about like the classes? Which class should people be expected from this like the very beginning? Like, are we expecting some crusader, rogue, or monk,
Yeah,
or just archer?
in the beginning it's gonna be just class 2-1. So it's and then like the rest of the class we roll out like later on, but it's not gonna be too long. But yeah, we wanted to slowly progress on the classes, the patches, to make sure that people enjoy the game. We the patch of the games that we prepared, the depth of the game is insane. So even though like the early questing system, the early classes is not that many, but it will roll up, follow up pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's Ragnarok has been like really long game, right? Like it's been over 20, 30 years. We have seen servers ups and downs. What how long would you think like this server gonna last? Like how many
It's
like there's
this
gonna be
actually
mechanics, right?
is very simple as long as you guy plays it. So as long as you guy playing it, then we'll stay here until the last person in the game quits, right? Yeah, so it's gonna be as that.
And yeah, another thing is like since we're talking about how long would it last, right? Usually a lot of like servers gone because of the bots and all those like cheaters and I don't know how you call it. But do we is there anything that we can prevent that?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Like like there's many servers that gone down pretty fast when there's bots, when there's like cheaters, when there's like people using like all the cheating stuff. Uh I'm sure we have experienced that in previous like Ragnarok Landverse versions, right? Do we have to like plan to improve that even more, or is there gonna be anything?
So we have a good mechanics to guard the bots and automated system. The idea here is if everyone have you know a bot that built in the game, people don't even try to bot the games, right? And of course, there are people trying to game system. There are people that try to like the attack the games. We will deal with that. We have a like improved system that comparing to different versions, and also more team members that we look around for like bots as well, right? So I would say I wouldn't say it's gonna be impossible that like there's no bots. People will eventually try to do it, but it's not gonna be easy. Comparing to how you faced from different versions before. And there are a lot of consequences here. And we have a built-in system in house that which is pretty good to counter this bots as well. So you don't need to be worried much about that.
So we'll just like keep improving, right? Like from here and there. I think it's we have seen there's always adjustments in like in-game items and all those stuff, right?
For the NFTs,
Yeah, for like let's say is there going to be rebalance and all those stuff, right?
in the
Or
middle of the patches, or what do you mean by that?
yeah, in during the gameplay, I'm sure the server is like we have to like upgrade the server every week, right? And is there going to be rebalance of like items? Let's say if this item is too powerful, or is there going to be rebalance before the like the new class coming in?
That depends on the feedback from the community as well, right? Like this kind of like patches in the game is pretty subjective, and we only will implement a patch balance if the balance is actually a breaking change, right, or have a huge impact into the economy. So of course, if there's a big problem in the game, we need to have a balance out from certain items. But most of the time, we're not going to do that. But if there's any huge change, then they need to be adjust. The game itself is very balanced. The team have been working with the games for a very long time, and the biggest thing here is that we're meeting with you guys, right? So all the feedbacks that you guys are playing the games, you need to tell us. We need to gather all the feedbacks. Of course, we're not gonna follow every single feedback that you guys mentioned, and then like the game is doomed to fall. But yeah, we definitely here listen and build with you guys, and this is probably going to be one of the biggest game in Ronin ecosystem. And of course, we are not just our idea is that it's not about just having a game that only Ronin eco players plays, but a game that bring new players into the ecosystem, right? And that is how we actually make Web3 game great again, right? If just a comparisons, right? Like you guys need to understand why Web3 games nowadays is not working, right? You need to understand that playing games is an entertainment, right? And you there are many ways to earn in games, right? Even without blockchains or without or before like the Web3 games implemented. But to earn from games, you need to invest resources. You need to know how to play the games. It's not just lock in daily, get tokens. Then that's not gonna work. That's not how you build a sustainable game. That's not how making sure that the game have been able to run for quite a while, right? That's why you see most of the games that launch with or without tokens in Web3 doesn't have actually enough users. Because the player base that plays most of the time they're looking to just extract from the games, right? But here we wanted to have a game that people enjoy, to play the game for fun, and of course there's a way to earn, but it's not going to be just like straightforward to just come in and get a tokens there. Right?
Are we gonna have like pre-sale packs, or is there any like any packs that people can buy before the closed beta,
Um,
and like maybe they can experience the pack before the actual open game?
So we on the closed beta, we might drop something for everyone to test out most of the system here. Talking about like the pre-sales or something, whitelist or mint. Stay tuned. We couldn't say anything right now, but obviously there's gonna be something that to make sure that people enjoy the games as well as able to like mint of one of the rarest items, and it could be land, it could be something. So not saying what is it yet. Not saying we're not having lands. Not saying we are not going to have a Genesis Mint. So keep being active in the Discord, play the games. Closed beta might give you some whitelist, who knows? So exactly that.
Okay. There's no sustainable games yet, like on auto. I would say I haven't